Hi guys, Ready Set RC, and today we are doing the final thoughts review of the Team Associated Rival MT10. We've taken this out on 3S, 2S, we bashed it off the ramps, we've done some ripping on this, we've changed out the electronics, we've ran it on 3S with those electronics, ran it on 2S with those electronics, we upgraded the pinion, we've done quite a bit on this. We even went ahead and tried different wheels and tires on this truck. So let's go through it and let's talk about what our experience has been with the Rival MT10. In true fashion, how we do our videos, we'll touch on electronics, drivetrain, handling and suspension, durability, workability, support, is it worth it, and would I buy it again? So touching on the controller and receiver of the Rival MT10, did not have any issues with the stock controller. This thing feels very good in the hand, has a nice foam wheel to it. You have all your settings up here on the top. I mean, this thing was excellent, and we had no issues with it cutting out because of distance, any slow response in regards to the throttle or the steering. I mean, it was excellent. So I would say in regards to the receiver and the controller, no issues whatsoever. This was a great setup for this truck. In regards to the ESC on this truck, that's the one thing I will discuss and make sure that you guys are fully aware before you buy this, is that the ESC in this truck is non-programmable. I reached out to Team Associated in regards to this truck to ask them specifically if it was programmable, and I got an email back from them basically stating that the ESC in this truck is non-programmable. One of the concerns that I noticed with this truck is that the brakes are very strong. Nice. And there's a lot of the settings that you may want to dial in regards to your ESC settings that you're just not capable of doing. Now, I did see a video from Razor RC who does show a hack to adjust the braking on this, but I wanted to get a little bit more adjustments in regards to my ESC settings. For that reason, I went ahead and swapped out the electronics on here. If you're not taking this truck off jumps, I think the braking is going to be okay with you because you can kind of coast into it. But if you're going to be taking this thing off of the ramps, off of jumps, and you want to be able to have that throttle control to get the nose down, and you want to be able to get that control in the air, you're definitely going to want those brakes to be adjusted. Outside of that, I thought the electronics gave tremendous amount of power on 2S and 3S. I had no issues in what I saw the ESC putting out on this truck. And as for the motor, the 3300 kV motor that's in here, tons of power, guys. That thing has tons of power. The only reason why I swapped out the motor on this is because the bullet connectors that I have off of my ESC would not work with the motor that's on here. I would have to solder up new bullet connectors. And since I already had an ESC and motor paired up sitting on the sides, I figured just throw it in here. But the motor is tons of power and it did not overheat. Please do remember that the timing of this video and the timing of when I ran this, it was winter approaching spring. Temperatures up here in the Northeast were fairly cold. I would say roughly when I drove this truck, it was in the 30s to possibly the low 40s Fahrenheit for you guys that are over on the other side of the pond. And that is, you know, that can regulate the temperature of the motor and ESC coming off here, but I had no problems with the power cutting out on this truck whatsoever. It did handle the amount of load that I was putting down on it on 2S and 3S. As for the servo on here, I thought it was adequate. These tires are fairly light, and I thought it moved the tires fairly well. I did not have a problem with how fast or slow the servo was. I thought it performed excellent for this vehicle. Drivetrain, in regards to the center drive shaft, the front and rear drive shafts, I had no issue with the front, center, or rear differentials on here. Nothing in regards to gears chomping up. Performed well. Drive shafts held up on all loads, even with the new electronics that I have currently stored in here. Held up excellent in regards to the power. that I was putting down. No issues whatsoever. Nothing twisting, breaking, binding, nothing whatsoever in regards to drive shafts and the differentials. Handling and suspension. This truck handles excellent, guys. It has a sway bar in the front and in the rear, and it just hugs the road. It does not, even with these wheels, the truck is so stable. I mean, I've taken this on 3S and on 2S, and it just sways right there with you. It does not topple over. You'll see it in the video that it is just an excellent performing vehicle when it comes to the handling and suspension. In regards to the shocks that are on here, the shocks are dialed in excellent. I had no issues with the shock weight that comes stock on this. I thought the truck performed well in regards to its handling and suspension of the vehicle. Durability, and this is probably where we had the most concerns or issues with this truck. I will say that I have broken some of the support arms on this truck, and the key part of this, and I sprayed these up, especially this one, I sprayed these up with some WD-40 before the runs, and they are just extremely brittle. The first time I broke one, I will say that it was severely cold outside, and I said that that probably aided to the issue as to why the support arms broke. The sec that I was running on this truck was on 3S. Just took a topple, a pretty bad topple, but took a topple, and I noticed once again, this was one of the stock support arms, that if you look at the plastic that's on here, and I don't know if the camera is showing that all too well, but you'll see that it's just in an inferior type of plastic, very brittle, that it's just something that is going to break you no matter what the temperature is going to be, no matter what you do with these support arms. Spray them up with WD-40, you're still going to have some brittle arms on here. I'm hoping at some point in regards to the arms on this truck that they become some form of third-party support. I found that in replacing the broken arms with the Helion arms, they've held up pretty well. So far I'm running them, I've ran both of them after the brakes, and I've had no issues with the new arms. So it may be a better bet to replace the existing arms with the Helion arms. Outside of that, this truck held up well. I mean, this thing took a pounding. The body has only one crack, and you'll see that here. I won't even blame this on the truck itself for the fact that this crack only happened once I ran the MX-28s on this truck. So even prior to that, this body was holding up pretty well for me. Prior to that, it's had some scuffs, some scratches, but no cracks other than that one part on the truck. As for where you have the body mounts, yes, there is some stressing that's going on over there, but I think if you just add some type of rubber cushion on those areas, I think that'll take that up. Eventually, I could see the body cracking and breaking through those points. It is being stressed, but as of right now, I have no breaks there. Workability. I've done quite a bit of work on this truck to this point in regards to removing the support arms, swapping out the electronics in regards to the ESC and motor on here, replacing the pinion, and that's the one thing that I want to say on too. I replaced the pinion with a 14-tooth pinion on here, and all work was very straightforward. No, it's not a modular design, but it is a fairly easy truck to work on, and I don't think you're going to find yourself having an issue doing work on this truck. Support. So as of right now, most of the parts that you're going to get for this truck is directly going to come from Team Associated. I've tried to source parts from other places, and it's just not there yet, guys. The arms that I did get as a replacement on this truck, it actually was from the Helion, not even from Team Associated at that point. And the reason why I went that route is that I noticed that the Helion part was just slightly lower. It wasn't on clearance, it wasn't on sale or anything like that. It was just a slightly lower price than I saw for the Team Associated arms. The reason for that price difference is that the Team Associated arms, they're throwing in one other item in there, and I can't recall at this moment what that is, but there is another item that's being thrown in their pack versus the Helion pack. In regards to parts, that's pretty much where I saw where it was at. You still have some Helion parts out there that will work on this truck, and right now the only parts that I saw that were available was directly from Team Associated. I did not see parts at the time of this video available from A-Main, Tower Hobbies, or Horizon Hobbies. Is it worth it? At the time of this video, I purchased this truck for $299. It's been a pretty solid truck within my arsenal. I will say in regards to these wheels, they do balloon, but I noticed the ballooning was occurring mainly on 3S. 2S with the 14th tooth pinion, for me, is excellent. I think that's exactly where I want to keep this truck, especially with the motor and ESC that I'm currently running on this. For those of you that have not seen my previous videos on this truck, I'm running a Ghoul RC 80 amp ESC with a 3800 Armor KV motor in here. Now, I did not replace the motor in ESC because I was looking for more power. I mainly did it so I can have more control on that ESC, and the motor is just something that I had paired up with the ESC at the time from another RC that I took it out of. So that's the reason why I have a little bit more power in regards to the ESC and motor, simply for the fact that that's what I had laying around. In regards to, is it worth it for $299? My concerns with this truck at this time is that you have the Armor 3S lineup smack in the middle with this truck. I will also say, even though it is an older truck, I will also put the Redcat TR MT10 right smack in the middle of this as well. As of the timing of this video, this truck has a ton of power. The durability of the arms and the third-party support are the two things that really do concern me right now. But it is a new release to Team Associated. Not new in the sense that this is a Helion Avenge, but the fact that it's new to Team Associated, I'm looking to see more companies kind of ramp up and throw support towards this truck. But I do like Redcat TR MT10E and the Armor lineups because of the support for those trucks and their older trucks. Outside of how this truck performed, I really do enjoy it, guys. I really do enjoy how this truck performed. I think my only knocks on it is going to be those support arms. I mean, they're just brittle. And that leads us right into, would I buy this again? For me, would I buy the Rival MT10 again? I'd have to say no. And it's not because it's a bad truck. It's not because I did not like the truck, but it is on the smaller side. And I like even at my 1/10 scales, I like the slightly larger 1/10 scale trucks. I find the parts of it that I really do enjoy is that the tunability, that having a third diff in there, it's essential. I think it really allows you to tune this as well as possible. And to be quite honest, the guys who are really going to love this truck, if you're a racer and you want something that's a change of pace from those race vehicles, this is excellent. It's really dialed in. There's a lot of tunability on this truck. I do think the battery tray, if you're running it on 3S, is going to be a concern. But for me, I thought it was better to run it on 2S, running it with a bigger pinion. I went up to the 14th tooth pinion on this, and I thought it was more than enough power on 2S. You know, trucks that I would say that fall in the same line with the Rival MT10 would be the Traxxas Stampede 4x4, the VXL edition. You have the brushless version of the Armor Granite, and I would also throw the TR MT10E also in that mix. I would say the Pro line is in there, but the Pro line is a roller. It's not an RTR. You still got to put your electronics in there. Price-wise, it doesn't even compare to what these other ones are at. I believe the most expensive one out of the lineup that I'm talking about is going to be the Traxxas Stampede 4x4. Out of that lineup, I would put the Rival MT10 most likely second. Now, I do not have any experience with the Stampede or the Granite, but I have driven vehicles off of the same platform as the Granite. And I have to say the Granite, based on what I've driven with the other Armor vehicles, for bashers, it's probably number one. If you are going for what I'm saying, which is a person that's, more of a racer, that racer type of driver, more so looking for a secondary option or something else, something different than, race buggies or race truggies, I would then put the Rival MT10 for those kind of individuals, just for the fact of the tunability of it. And I'm not talking about turnbuckles and adjusting camber and toe. Yes, that's available in pretty much, to my understanding, all of these trucks that I've just mentioned. But the fact that you have that third diff, and it's one of those things that if you drove this truck, you would see what I'm talking about, that it is geared towards someone who is in that race class ability. Someone who really knows how to tune a truck. And I'm not saying this truck needs tuning, but there's so much more you can do with this truck than what it comes with out of the box. Now, the part of it that makes it really hard is that the TRMT10, the Red Cat TRMT10E, is a very good truck, and it makes it difficult to choose between this and the TRMT10E. Why I put the TRMT10E slightly under the Rival MT10 is for the fact that you have to purchase the third diff, and if you want to upgrade that motor that's in there, it's a very cramped space to get another motor in there. It's extremely tight chassis on this truck. And I think those reasons, I would say it falls slightly under the Rival MT10. Now, yes, the TRMT10 comes of options, metal axles. It has pillow ball suspension. I mean, it is a very good truck. But with this class, and if you're going to run it on 2S, as I'm stating with the Rival MT10 or even 3S, is all of that really needed in a truck when you're putting that kind of power in there? But that's it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest posts to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.